YouTube family, what's up? It's Rodrick. We'll be back with another episode of Playing It By Ear. I want to thank y'all for tuning in. Go ahead and subscribe. Go ahead and share, because I got a good friend of mine here with me on this episode, and I know it's going to be a good episode. So all the way from, I know him from Hattiesburg, but I think he's from somewhere else. So I'm going to let him talk about that. But I want y'all to give a big, warm welcome to my good friend, Mr. Raymond Bradford.
Thank you, brother. Thank
yes,
you
sir, man.
Thank you.
I'm glad to have you down.
Yes, sir.
Came down 59.
Yeah,
Hang with us. So y'all listen, this is going to be a great episode. I always say that, but I really believe that because we're going to dive into some good things from an artist and a musician standpoint. So y'all go ahead and share this, okay? Ray, what's going on?
Man, not much, man. Just, I always say hustling and surviving, bro. Trying to live the dream, man.
Let's 2024. That's the way to do it. Hustle and survive. I'm gonna have to use that one. Man, listen, I always start off with this pretty icebreaker question. Some people gonna know you. Hopefully, a lot of people know you. Some people don't. So, who would you say Ray Bradford is? If they don't know you, you need to introduce yourself. How would you do that?
Man, this is gonna sound cliche. Well, God-fearing man.
Okay.
True creative at heart. Man, what's the saying that people been saying lately? Like don't ever let your inner kid die.
Yeah,
I'm still a kid at heart. So I like to play, like to have fun. Try not to take life so seriously. So like I'm lighthearted, but I'm also kind of serious at the same time. And just I hate to say it, just a creative and musician first. That's the true essence of Raymond Bradford.
Yeah, man. I think you're a comedian too, man. So, man, you be killing me. Also, I want to do this. I think this is my first time maybe doing it. You have a show. What's your show? Go ahead and put that plug in.
Okay, yes. So Scatterbrain, the Ray Bradford podcast, is on YouTube. It's on any
Y'all
place that you listen to your podcast at. It's all over. Haven't released the episode in 3 months, but the episode is coming, I want to say, very soon. We got some wrapped up in the can. We about to start it back. Yeah, man. So check that out. Scatterbrain, the Ray Bradford podcast.
Yeah, man. So what I'd like to do here, kind of like tell your journey, past, present, future, from an artist perspective. I try to cater the show to artists, people who are actively doing something, progressing somewhere. So, man, where would you say, what's your start? Like I said, I know you're from Hattiesburg, but I know that's not where you're from.
Yeah.
So take us back. Where did you start? How does work?
I got you. So my hat is a representation of where I'm from.
Boy.
Grenada, Mississippi.
Y'all
born
win?
and raised. We won last night.
Okay.
We are on the road to playing Hattiesburg in the state championship.
Whoa.
And we're gonna beat Hattiesburg this year. I'm
Y'all
just
heard
gonna
it.
make a bold proclamation. But yeah, I'm from Grenada, Mississippi. Born and raised. Grew up. My dad was a musician. I don't want to say full time, but he played.
Right.
He played guitar and bass. My uncle played keyboard. I had all his family played. Okay. Nobody on my mom's side really played, but I got the love from him. So I can say he started me. The start. Let's go back to the beginning. So he kind of started me. Then I met my homie, this dude named DeMarcus Robertson.
Okay.
He kind of like put me to playing in church.
Yeah.
So that was my first playing experience, playing in church around like 11 to 12 years old. And then from there, got in band, playing trumpet.
we gotta dig in now. You're a bassist by profession.
Yes, sir.
Do you play anything else?
I piddle paddle everything else.
Okay.
I can like solidly play drums. I ain't got no chops in them, but I can play the groove. I can get my ideas out on keyboard.
Yeah.
So like when you ask me to play what you playing, it's a rap. I'm down bad, but I can piddle paddle a guitar a little bit. But
now you said something really good for like the last couple episodes using band. Mm-hmm. Now I have this theory, and you tell me if I'm wrong, or you agree or whatever, how you feel about it. Most church musicians I know that play well, that started like early playing well, had like this, I don't want to say like negative view, but they didn't want to be in the band.
I never understood it.
But would you say
Yes.
like, I mean, especially like the younger they start, they like 5, 6, 7 playing in church, like the band. And I said this, I feel like for me, because I was kind of like that. It was too slow for what I was doing, and I didn't see the benefit at 10, 11, 12 years old of how this information, this knowledge can sustain my career or even progress it. So I was just like, okay, cool, I can play all this stuff. I'm not finna go in and play no Mary Had a Little Lamb and do like it was like a regression, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But I think a lot of church musicians particularly like have that frame of mind. And on this show, I'm trying to kill that. Because man, reading, band, the fundamentals, not just the skill side of it, but just like the knowledge of it, that's where it's at.
Yeah, structure. Like I if I really think about it, cause man, I'm finna sound like I'm really like bragging on my hometown, but my band program was really great.
Right.
So like our marching band was we can probably march 250 to like 300 people.
Wow.
In the marching band, and we won state every year. We were top of Mississippi for a long time, for like 90s. From the 90s to like probably 2010. So we were like really good for a long time. We went to nationals and placed like 13th one year. So, and it didn't hit me till I got to college and got around other guys who, like my program was different because we had teachers for each instrument.
Whoa.
So like the percussion teacher didn't teach anybody else. Right. He just taught percussion. The trumpet teacher didn't teach anybody else. Like everybody was focused. So the structure of that helped me so much because like I was playing in church, but I also had this element where it's like, nah, you just play your part. Play your part. I don't need you doing nothing else. And then if I would try to show out in jazz band, like, look at what I can do. Like my teacher would be like, hey man, I don't need all that. Right. Just play the sheet. Just read the sheet now. So that helped me a ton. But also, a lot of the people that I grew up around, like I was saying, my friend DeMarcus, all these people, they were in band as well. Okay. So they already had that mindset when they were teaching me, and so that helped me a lot. I don't know why church musicians don't do that, but I had friends who didn't play in the band, and they were the opposite of that. Yeah. Like, man, I'm finna say a name. Don't beat me up if you see this, but like Matt Hearn. Yeah, I grew up with Matt Hearn. We from the same hometown.
And Matt is a beast.
A beast.
I mean,
a beast, an absolute animal.
That's a good thing, y'all. I'm sorry.
He's an absolute animal. Man. But he wasn't in band. Right. So he was the opposite of like that. Right. So, but he had balance. I will say he had balance.
But I think, man, and I'm asking your opinion. I'm saying this, but I'm asking your thoughts on it. Like, it creates, like, you have to be this anomaly in church to survive. Because think about it, like Matt is amazing. I know I can call 10 guys, probably off the top of my head, that didn't play in band, that are amazing. But I can probably name you 100 more that didn't survive. Ooh. You know what I'm saying? So like, it's like, you gotta be, if you choose that route, you gotta be the best. And like, that's a hard place to be in. Like, I feel like everybody can learn something. Some of us just wake up and know it.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying?
That's real.
Right.
That's real.
So you don't want to be, I mean, everybody ain't that person. Sometimes you got to learn how to do this and still, and even I teach high school math, and I tell people, my students all the time, like, neither one of those things are a guaranteed path to success. You can be amazing and still lose out. Yeah. You can be average and be structured and win. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So like that's a thing to me. Like, you know what I'm saying? You got to be in church. Church is a great training ground because you throwing curveballs, sliders.
Man, and it breeds great musicians. I will say that, but a lot of times those musicians, they do lack the.
They top out.
They lack the structure, or they get so like, man, I just want to play this style of music. Right. But it's like, top man, you know what I'm saying? It's like, bro, like I went to school for jazz. Right. Man, my dream was like, man, I want to play original music, jazz music for the rest of my life, fusion music. And then it came a point to where it hit me like, hey, you're going to be extremely poor. Right. If you don't if you don't change your mindset and accept that, like, play all this stuff. So, you know, once you'll top out and you'll hit that ceiling like, man, you just end up in a cycle. Playing at church programs all the time.
And killing them.
Right.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. But man, like, I don't know what we're gonna talk about. I don't even know if we're gonna get to all this stuff, but I definitely want to give the artist, musician viewpoint from this. Like, and you said something, I've been on this thing. I don't read well. I think my theory has gotten really, really good probably in the last 5-10 years, something like that. But I don't read well. So I have to work harder to make it make sense. Long story short, I do a lot of studying. Mm-hmm. And like one of my goals is, man, I'm finna get this reading down, because the opportunities, the structure, I don't know if I said opportunities, but I'm gonna say it again. Opportunity it provides is so different than, I had a friend tell me, he said, man, if you ever like, you get to a point where you feel like stuck, you know, I play the same stuff all the time. I want to learn something. Read. Yeah. You can always learn something. Yeah. And like I said, I don't think we get those opportunities, especially in church. Corporate bands are a big thing now, and they don't want like your version of the song. Like they want the song. Yeah. And because in that element, it ain't even about you. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's about us creating this moment for whoever's there. If it's a wedding, if it's a party, you know, these people want to enjoy themselves. They don't care about like your rudiments. They don't care about your scales. I want to hear treasure. Mm-hmm. Give it to me. Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So like, how do you feel we can improve on that? And I'm gonna say this last thing, and I hopefully this leads you. You know, we talk about Snarky Puppy.
That's my favorite band of all time. Well, them and Weather Report.
When they came, I guess, to prominence, like everybody was on that. But then, man, if you really study them guys individually, they are like educators.
Oh yeah.
Like
Chris Bullock is actively still teaching.
Like Michael, every last one of them can not only play it, can tell you, write it out. And I feel like cities like Dallas, which was a hub for that, LA, New York, all those are musically strong because they have the educational support to breed that. You know what I'm saying? Like even Hasbury, not saying it's not on that level, but
it's not. But I'm sorry, it's not. We done fell off. We were when we were going, but we fell off.
But what I'm saying is, you all at least have the school, college to support some of that. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Some of that what you see. So how do we get back to that, man? How do we improve on that?
I'm glad you mentioned Snarky Puppy. So, you know, I'm toot my horn a little bit. You know, I don't toot it enough. But
beat, man. Beat.
I toot my horn a little bit. I had a chance to play with them twice, 2 years in a row. So when they were coming to prominence, right? If you go look at the CD, Tell Your Friends, yeah, it's a doctor from Hattiesburg who helped fund that CD. Oh. Dr. Fitzpatrick or Fitzgerald, he stays kind of, I'm not going to say where he stayed, but they would play at his house. Like right, they would play at his house, and then the first year I played, they played at his house, and they played at the not the multi-purpose center. Yes, the multi-purpose center. They played, wherever, the convention center. They played at the convention center right when you come in Hattiesburg. So I got a chance to play. The first year I played, Tayron was on drums. Right. But the second year, I got to play with Spud.
Whoa.
Experience, he kicked my tail. I left like, yeah, man, I thought I was on the level. I ain't on that level. I still got to work. But in the process of that, I got close with him. So every time he see me, we chop it up, you know. Right. If I see him somewhere. So I had the chance to ask him, relating to your question about how do we, you know, adopt these principles, like the structuredness and all this and like So I said, and y'all seen in Dallas, you know, everybody that hangs with y'all, that comes under y'all, do y'all make them like learn everything? How y'all know everything? Like, cause you know Spud can play jazz. Like, man, he can really play jazz.
Spud can play everything.
Like Sean Martin can rest his soul. Sean Martin could really play jazz. Bobby Sparks can all them guys. Yeah. You know, and of course Justin, Mike League, all these other guys, they can all play this stuff right. And Spud was like, yeah, man, if you under us, you got to learn everything. So like, the OGs make the young people, like, if you want to be under me and hang under me,
you got to be under me.
You got to, like, learn all this. Because this was before CCM was huge. But CCM was like starting to rise. He was like, all your music will sound like rock music.
Right.
You just sound like rock. But like, if it's not intended to sound like rock,
right.
I don't need that
Right.
happening. So like, everybody needs to learn everything. So I think that's the biggest fix that we could start with.
Right.
Us as I'm an OG now.
Yeah,
I'm 35.
Yeah.
So like us as OGs, if we get everybody around us to like, hey man, like kind of learn. Just you don't have to be proficient at it, but I just need you like to know it. I think that'll help change everything.
So that brings to this, like and what you correct me if I'm wrong. What I'm hearing is the mentorship is missing,
big time.
But do you think that's all on the OGs? Because technology has, Sean Martin split all them. I'm assuming they in their 40s, probably close to 50s.
Close to 50.
Close to 50. They were groomed at a time where those tools weren't available. These guys now get on YouTube and learn chops for days, so they feel like they don't need that. Mm-hmm. And as you know, society's a little more sensitive now. When I was younger, man, it was like, no, sit down. Hey, can't necessarily do that. You do that, you look over there, they gone. So how do we bring that to, like, we got to hone that in. Like, and I know a couple guys, man, I think are amazing. Tell them why. I think, shoot, they probably outplay me, but they don't listen. Musically, nor advice.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? You're doing your thing, like you said, just about those bands you're playing with. We playing music, man. This is not your time to. Nobody cares, and I hate to say that in a mean way, but that's the truth. Nobody cares about that. We're glad you can play. That's why you're here.
Yeah, that's why you got the call.
Right. Like, but we don't need that right now. We assume you can do what you asked to do, and they take that so.
Personal.
Yeah, personal, man. Like, no, I don't know you. I just know you're not doing what I'm asking you to do. So how do we do that, man? Like, is there a way around that? Or how do you do that? Let me direct that question to you. How do you do? Because I know you. I done heard stories about you. You kind of.
I'm a straight shooter I'm a straight shooter until the point to where I know if I know it's gonna like create a rift between us.
Yeah.
I won't even do it.
Right.
But if you like cool and you just want me to be a straight shooter around you.
Oh yeah.
Like, cause I got people like Chris Kelly.
Chris, man.
He's one of the people that like he'll be like, "What you think, Ray?" And he genuinely means what I think.
Man,
so
Chris is amazing, man. I knew Chris when he was a kid, like sitting behind in the back of the church listening, and to see where he is now, man, it's amazing.
Yeah, so it's like people like him. Who else could I say that? Like, this a quiet killer in Hattiesburg that people don't really. When I say killer people, I don't mean like.
Yeah.
I mean a musician killer, but.
You gonna get us census, man, and flag. Go ahead.
Kobe Willis. Kobe. It was like 3 months in a row. Kobe would come over my house every Sunday or my apartment every Sunday, and like, OG, what can I fix?
Right.
And he genuinely meant what can I fix? I want to get better. He's not doing music full time, but he's like, I still want to get better.
Right.
So the people who really want to hear, I tell them, but other than that, I've grown to keep it to myself because, man, this conversation is wild. We have it in Hattiesburg a lot. And between me, Jeff, Ben, Langston, man, I wish Ben did more interviews or stuff like this because he's a great person to talk to. But we have conversations like, did we drop the ball? I always ask, did we drop the ball by not
doing that,
not making sure that they was on it? But he's like, no. Right. And then I watch interviews of other people and they be like, man, you ain't obligated to do none of that.
You're not obligated to do that.
So like, dang, where am I? I'm torn on that, like, because I want to help.
Yeah.
But then it's like, I'm not obligated to. If you don't want to accept it, it is what it is.
Right. What you just said too, man, like that's a real thing. I feel that, like, man, what can you do more? Because the truth is, now, again, I'm saying this, but I'm asking your opinion. When you look at the state of where you believe music is going, sometimes it's disheartening. You know what I'm saying? Like, you feel bad, like, dog, you know what I'm saying? What could I have done to prevent that, or what can I do? And I go through this, man, I'm just one person. Like, what am I going to do? But then if you have the ones who have the responsibility to shoot it, I think that's a thing. But then you don't want to be shunned either. Like, hey, man, I keep this to myself. Like, you know what I'm saying? I remember Skip Bayless when Zion first came into the league. I don't remember. I know they played the Lakers or whatever, but LeBron embraced him after the game and was like talking his ear. And Skip was like, "Man, you ain't got to be that to the young generation. They don't want your advice and stuff like that." And I'm assuming, I don't know LeBron from nobody else, but I'm assuming he wants to protect the lead. Like, hey, this is what you do. I don't think he was saying that then, but just being that to the next generation, because that's one of the knocks on Jordan, or even Brett Favre. I remember him saying with Aaron Rodgers, "It's not my responsibility to teach him," but ain't it?
It is.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, it's weird because like the Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers, like Aaron Rodgers was finna take your job, so it's like.
But you done live your career. I mean, you at that time, Brett Favre was a Super Bowl champion, several MVPs, and the reason why, in my opinion, the reason the Packers moved on from it, because he would never make up his mind. He gonna retire. He not gonna retire. It'd be middle of the summer before he decide, and I'm sure they got tired of that.
Yeah, true.
So
true.
Hey, we draft this guy. We finna move on.
True.
So they cut him.
True. You point. Because at first I was thinking that like, well, if it's a guy right on my tail, do I get? But even if it's a guy right on your tail, you still do the right thing and show him the rope, show him the right way. Because
I think that opens your door to the next thing you're supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? Like at my age, man, I'm not trying to gig like that. I just not. I enjoy it. I want to do it selectively when I want to do it. But the guys who are hungry, I feel like they still need to know how to do it. You pass it on. That's how you. I heard Teddy Riley say that. He's like, man, I show my stuff. That's how I ensure my legacy. Because when I die, if everything I knew go with me, it's over.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then
it's no student. It's nobody to say
no
was
tree.
A student of you, like no fruit from you. Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. That's a thing that I think we're still working through to figure out how can we, like you said, that about Sput, man. And you can tell those guys
dude,
like
if you look at the tree, just look at Sput, Tayron, Cleon, Lil Mike Mitchell.
Right.
I seen Lil Mike Mitchell when he was a senior in high school. He was, bro.
Yeah.
It's not many times that I've seen somebody like, yeah, I think music ain't for me.
Right.
But this man in high school, blazing.
Yeah.
He had a legend, Bob Mincer, a saxophone player. Bob Mincer played with Jocko, played with all these people.
Yeah.
Man, he had this dude on stage staring at him like,
yeah.
I'm in the back of the doggone place like, if this dude is 16 doing this, I don't stand a chance.
Yeah.
So like, if you just look at the tree of those guys, it's like, yeah, man, I don't know,
I just feel like, man, you got to do everything. If you are naturally God-given, talented like that, man, add to it as much as you can. And I think that's what we dropped. We be like,
So, church musicians, this is a plea. So like, even if you can just read chord charts, that's better than not reading at all. Like just reading chord charts, because a lot of times, most situations, I have a degree in jazz, but in most situations I'm in now on gigs like that, I'm just reading chord charts, and they may have like little hits and stuff in them, but like for the most part, I'm reading a chord chart. Like, bro, just be able to read the chord chart, be able to tell the chord chart is hitting on the end of 3.
Yeah.
So little stuff like that goes a long way, and it's not as hard as you think it is now. If you're trying to get like some upper echelon gigs, like you need to be able to read, but at the minimum, just read chord charts.
Yeah. I was watching, and then the other side of that is, the guys that are blazing want the amazing gigs, but they don't really. They think their talent is going to keep them there, and that's not. Talent gonna get you noticed. Man, this dude is amazing. Then you're gonna put in a situation where you got to handle business, and business is not just getting paid. It's being on time, being. I was just watching someone on YouTube last night. This guy said, "Man, he said, man, be somebody that's cool to hang with, cause I hire my friends." I mean, of course they can play,
Yeah.
but I want to hire somebody to do this 8-hour job that I want to be around.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I saw Teddy Campbell say that, like, he's been able to sustain his career learning to read. He said Ricky Manor, he was saying something happened. Ricky Manor was like, man, basically, I don't know how you do that. Cause he was saying we're gonna cut this part of the chart out. And he didn't read at the time. So he just caught on. And Ricky Manor was like, man, I don't know how you do that, but man, you do it. So he was like, I took that as a diss. Like I don't know how he meant it, but I took it as a diss and I went and taught myself how to read.
Hey, that's real.
So yeah, man, just man. But anyway, back. So you started, man. I hijacked your whole band story. So you got in band at
Grenada High School.
We way off track. Go ahead.
I started playing there, playing in church.
You play trumpet?
I played trumpet.
Play
trumpet all the way up to 11th grade, and then I got kicked out of band. I got kicked out of band and out of high school. Sound like I was a trouble kid, but I was not a trouble kid. I just did some dumb stuff. I brought an airsoft BB gun to school, got caught with it, got kicked out.
Oh man.
For a minute, I thought that was gonna derail my life.
Yeah.
Because I was focused on going to college on like a band scholarship or something, right? My mom pushed for me to get back in school, so I got back in school on time, graduated on time, and then me and my friends it was like 6 of us. We were all like, yeah, man, we going to Southern Miss out the blue, randomly out the blue. I didn't talk to no music professors. I didn't try out or anything. I'm coming. And then I didn't talk to my bass professor or anything. And but I knew I wanted to come do jazz. I always knew I wanted to do jazz or major in music, and jazz seemed like the most thing parallel to what I was doing in Grenada. Went to USM. First few years I kind of goofed off a lot.
What them college stories would be.
Woo!
Yeah.
But my first year at USM, so I'm gonna speed it up a little bit. My first year at USM, I ended up meeting this guy named Justin from the coast. He introduced me to Sarai Butler, Willie Taylor, Benjamin Langston,
the OGs,
and we ended up forming a band called Smash.
Yeah.
Shout out! I got the shirt on today from a single we released. And we played for gospel choir at first, and it went from gospel choir, and we became an original band. We did a lot of stuff. Ooh, I said done. The English is bad right there.
Yeah,
we did a lot of stuff.
It's okay, Ray.
We did a lot of stuff.
Now, SMASH is an acronym, ain't it?
Yeah, it originally was. It was stood for Southern Miss African American Student House Band.
Okay.
That's what it stood for at first, and then when we left gospel choir, where we stopped playing for gospel choir, we just like, nah, take the acronym off, and it's just Smash.
Yeah.
But that's what it was for originally. Then we did that for a while. That didn't end up not working out. And then from there, I started a band called Raziano and Friends with Ryan Raziano, saxophonist, and that band turned into Friends Fly South.
Yep.
And then that band ended up not working out.
So what in that space right there, you recorded a record. Two. Okay. One on live, wasn't it?
Yep. The Friends Fly South was live at the 35th, and the first one was Raziano and Friends at a studio in the country.
Yeah, Studio in the Country, man. Studio in the Country is a studio in, I don't know what part of Bogalusa, Louisiana, where Stevie Wonder has recorded.
Yes.
Where P.J. Morton recorded, what album he recorded there? He recorded an album. It wasn't Gumbo. I know it wasn't Gumbo. It was.
Is it the one that like some of the stuff from Gumbo on? It's like the green one. It's like.
It's either Paul or it's the one after Paul.
Okay.
Somewhere around there. But anyway, dope studio.
Oh man.
So how was that, man? That experience? Because I know we talked about that. And you was like, man, it was kind of a little intimidating.
It's very intimidating for that. That was my first real studio experience, and like when I say real studio,
right,
like real studio experience. We just luckily had a guy I was in the jazz program with at USM. His brother was an engineer.
Whoa.
So we luckily had a plug, and he was like, man, we can get you this rate for the day. If you can pay this rate, you can come. So we luckily, we saved up from like 4 months of shows to pay for this. And the experience was amazing. It was intimidating, too, to walk in and see those plaques. Stevie Wonder, Fleetwood Mac, like all these people. You see these plaques, and it's intimidating. But something about me, like, in those situations, I really don't get too intimidated. Yeah. Because it's like, man, humbling. I'm meant to be here. Yeah, I always feel like I'm meant to be here.
It's humbling, man. And I think you need that experience. Something else I just want to throw a plug in, man, relationships. That's another thing I think as musicians we don't pull on as far as outside of our musical friends. Like, there are people around you that are the key to the very thing that you're trying to do.
I'm horrible at that. I will say I'm horrible at that.
And you just sometimes gotta.
It's hard.
It's hard, man, cause you like me. I be so focused on whatever I'm doing. Like, I got tunnel vision. I don't see nothing else. Right. And then they be like, X was there or this happened. I be like, when? Why you? Oh, okay. Well, it's kind of thing, but that's something that hopefully as a community we can, work on, man.
I think it's a thing with creatives too. We just not, a lot of us not like people.
Yeah, somebody said other day, like this week, was talking about Prince, and they were saying he was weird, and I was like, I can believe it. Like, do you know how like genius? That's a lot to sort through,
bro.
Like, that's a lot,
bro. To every day you thinking, bro. I just watched the end of Terry and Jimmy Jam. Yeah, was just talking. Did you see that Go with Elmo interview?
I didn't see Go with Elmo, man. Hey, you plugs information. Go ahead.
He interviewed him, and he asked him what was the most important thing he learned from Prince. Yeah, he was like, work ethic. Yeah. Well, I never seen anybody work like Prince. Yeah. And like when you say genius, like he was like, bro, he would rehearse us for 6 hours, go rehearse the Revolution for another 6 hours, then go to the studio for 12 hours. Yeah. And then come back and rehearse us another 6 hours. Yeah. Like it's
a lot.
That's insane.
It is. And he's just built that way. So like his communication skills as far as like being a people person, it's probably boop.
Bro. Probably, yeah.
Man, let me tell you this. I called a professional musician. I ain't gonna call his name. And it's been years ago. And I wanted to work with him, right? So I was inboxing him on Facebook. And he was like, so in the middle of the conversation, he was like, man, here's my number, call me. Dude, I went to like fan mode. Like, what? I get to call him? What, you gonna call? So I called him. I'm bold. I called it. And he answered phone like, hello. I'm like, yeah, man, it's Rodrick. And I'm just holding the phone. Like, I'm just, like, excited that I'm actually on the phone with this person. And he was like, hey, man, I don't mean to be rude, but what you need? And I'm thinking, well, you told me to call you. I thought you wanted to. It's not a conversation. He is about
business.
What we need to do so we can get to it. Man, it was the best but the most humbling experience in dealing with somebody on that level. Like, they're not trying to chop it up about this. Not in a rude way. He wasn't rude. He was just like, what you need? Hey, I'm smiling from ear to ear. My eyes probably big. I'm on the phone. And he like, bro, this ain't that kind of conversation. Like, I need to know what you need me to do or explain what you need me to do so I can tell you if I can do it or not. We can.
Then we make it work to like the
right,
coolness.
Yeah, man. But then we start that off. So, yeah, man, those guys are weird. I don't like the word weird, but they different.
Dude, I know. Dude, it's kind of. I know this it's kind of derailing a little bit, but like, I know I'm weird. Like,
wait a minute.
We'll play. Man, you done been to a couple of my shows. Like, dude, while everybody hanging out, I go outside. Yeah, I don't want to be around. Yeah. I get nervous around like a lot of people. Yeah. Like,
because you feel like you got to have that conversation. Like, you be like, man, so how's the weather? It's cold. So yeah, I definitely get that. Yeah, man. It's kind of it's being a creative, I think, man, needs to be like explained and documented because people who are not that way, like have a hard time with that. I'm gonna say this, and then I'm gonna jump into the next thing. Church. We talking about church. I'm gonna go back to church for a minute. Most churches, especially from a leadership perspective, do not understand how to deal with creatives. Like, it's not this executive. The people who are good at executive things are not really good most of the time at being creative.
Yeah.
Because there's no, I don't know if you like this, but man, my creativity does not go like start here and go here. It's like start here, go back here, come around, stop. Like even man, like
For real.
I used to, in a relationship, I used to clean up, be asked to clean up the house, clean whatever. Man, it take me 8 hours to do it. And they're like, I don't understand, what are you doing? I got music on, and while the music came, I had an idea, so I had to stop that, go play, figure that idea out so I can move on.
Yeah.
And then I probably had to remember what I was doing. I couldn't remember where I stopped, so I started over. You know, all that kind of stuff. It's a lot that goes on in that, and people don't understand it. Like, I hate explaining myself. Like, it makes me just furious. Like, I don't know why I'm doing this. I don't. Just rock with me. You know, it's just be a little patient with me. So yeah, I don't know if you like that, man.
Bro, I'm just like that. But the cool thing, like, so Willie, you've been in our space. So Willie, like my homie, we like I said, I met them in 2007 when I got to USM. Where he at in life now, he be kind of imparting, and he ain't but like 2 years older than me, but he'll impart some knowledge on me. Like, so he dropped a book on me, and it was mind blowing, like how the habits stack.
Yeah.
So he was like, you already know you got these habits, but you need to put better habits around them. So like, hey, if you know you'll venture off like that, put this habit here before. So it's like, hey. Yeah. Okay. Oh, now I get back to in place. Or like I catch myself, if I'm editing a video or something, I catch myself like I leave it up and exactly where I was and what I was doing. Yeah. So when I come, when I do leave, I come back and like, okay. Yeah. I try to do stuff like that now. But for the longest, bro,
it's tough, man. It's tough. Like I said, and then the thing of being misunderstood is infuriating, you know. Like I said, and I believe the world operates between creatives and what I call basically people who are just educational. Like they are okay with the routine of a day being exactly the same. Mm-hmm. Like da 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 da. They got to be that way, and you know that's a. I think creators are more lenient with them than they are with us.
Oh yeah.
Like you said, like being that poor thing, like the satisfaction of being musically on point is a lot of times more important than sometimes having your business.
Yeah.
That can be a dead end.
Like that's man, I don't want to go too far left with this, but like I'm battling that with myself now because it's like, man, you 35, you getting old. Yeah. Like if you want to have a family, like a wife and kids, like now's the time to like start. But like, you can't keep chasing the hamster wheel. Yeah, like
that dream.
Yeah, like you know, like so you either gonna have to go, extremely hard at what you're chasing, or you gonna have to like find another. Or you can do both. Yeah. And if the dream don't work out, you still got something going.
Those are grown-up decisions.
Man.
Listen, man, I want to jump into why you saying that. What's your creative process? Like when you create, because you're an artist, create music, you had the band. Are you going to do another band? For real?
Well, I'm in... So if you know...
You should. I'm just throwing that out there.
If you know about Prince and the Revolution, you know, like, a lot of that stuff Prince was playing. Yeah. But it was billed Prince and the Revolution, and when he did it live,
he had people.
He had a band. So I think that's kind of where I'm at now. So I'm in a situation now where I'm trying to build Ray Bradford and a sip of funk. So that's my new thing I'm going for. So like kind of like Corey Henry and the Funk Apostles or Prince and the Revolution. Right. Because I feel like Mississippi, people don't think we can do stuff like that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, I just want to put on for
let me ask you a question. We jumping off the turn. But man, I find myself doing a lot of things at the level that I try to do it because people don't think we can do that. Like, and I know that's like not my priority, but it be in the back of my mind. Like one of my dreams is to have a song with a full orchestra, and be like, people think like that can't come from Meridian, or that can't come from Hasbro, or that can't come. Ain't nobody doing it. You got to be in LA. No, you don't.
That can happen
Like,
right here.
So that's a thing that kind of be in my mind.
Man, if I'm honest with you, man, dang, it's crazy. A lot the conversations we having are similar conversations we have all the time in the Bird. Like, I feel like my ego get in the way a lot of times because I want to prove everybody wrong who feels certain ways. People who feel like stuff can't happen or come from Mississippi, or like I can't lead a band, or you know what I'm saying?
All that foolishness.
Yeah, like,
that's
it's like,
what
bro, come on, bro. Like, you can't lead a band from a bass player. Yes, you can. Michael Lee has done it for years. Right. You know what I'm saying? Jocko did it. Victor. Anyway, but you see, so I want to try to prove stuff like that, and I'm battling with that because do I focus on that or do I focus on the art? Right. But
conflicting. I mean, I'm telling you, man. And I really hope people who are watching this, especially musicians, can understand. I know most of y'all understand what you're saying, but the mental battle that most creators go through is definitely not acknowledged like it is, because we talk about mental health and all these things today. Like, man, sometimes I have the best days and sometimes and the worst days, and I ain't talking about like months apart. Like same week, same day. Like, you wake up, you feeling good, and then somebody say, "Well, man, I remember this. I did a song, man. And, when you do the advertising on social media, sometimes it be bots. So, or it'll put like some type of political something with your ad or whatever. And I remember somebody bot person said like I suck, and I was more interested in what they saying I suck because I think it was like a Joe Biden ad tied to it, or they didn't like the music. That was like a day.
Hey,
like I just went down.
Focus on that, like
so
what?
Yeah, man. That's
real.
That's real.
Like, man, I don't know, man. The mental gymnastics that we go through is insane. Any creative, like a musician, videographers, painters. If you just a creative in general, the mental gymnastics that we have to put up with. Yeah. And a lot of times it's what we place on ourselves.
It is self-inflicted.
So it's like I kind of got to the point now where, like, when I feel something, I go ahead and vocalize it
and try to move on.
Get it out the way. Yeah, like, I feel something, even if it's like I just vocalize it to myself. Yeah. Like, man, I feel this way. Yeah. I say it. All right, move on. Yeah, I'm definitely there now. And my older years, probably like the last 5 years, man. If it come on mine, more than likely it's coming out. I'm sorry, I don't mean. Hopefully, you know me well enough to know where I'm speaking from, but I'm definitely gonna tell you. So yeah, it just being in this safe space. So you possibly got at this band. That's where you are now. You want me to talk about the creative?
I do. Cause we didn't get there. Let's go. See, jumping. Go ahead.
So, man, my creative process is probably backwards. As a bass player, that's the instrument I'm most comfortable on. So a lot of times my songs start on bass. Even melody-wise, I may find the melody on bass and then transfer it to like keyboard or guitar or something. But everything, I don't want to say everything. Most of it, about 75% of it starts on bass. Yeah. Then Logic, I go in Logic, record. My demos end up being like flushed out. So they're not like demos. I kind of like flush them out. Yeah. It takes me a while to like write a song. Right. You know how most people be like, I used to argue with Jeff and Josh about this all the time. Like, yeah, man, it don't take me long to write a song. I write a song in like a day. Like, bro, you wrote a whole song in a day? Yeah. Like, or you mean tell me you just wrote like the bass part? Yeah. Or like you wrote the keyboard part? Or you saying like you wrote every part and the lyrics and everything in a day? Like, I can't fathom it. It take me like 2 months, bro. Yeah. 2 months from start to finish.
Start to finish.
Oh my God. Yeah. And then so that's the most taxing thing. And then once I get there, like now I've gotten into mixing, so I kind of mix my own stuff. But like that's another 2 months or 6 months.
Yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm down in. I want to get this snare right, man. I can't.
Man, that stuff will have you, boy. I'm trying to tell you, you been missed a decade. Just man. But I'm hearing, man, you way more than a bass player though, man. You are creative. So like you kind of embody all those other parts, like with the songwriting. Like I don't do it like that, but I have 1,500 bounces. I done bounced it to hear this, bounce it again. So I'm kind of like that, but yeah, that long process of writing a song, I definitely feel.
Yeah, because it's just I don't like if you think of another. I'm not gonna plug the podcast, but Kirk Franklin was on the podcast talking with somebody about like gospel music, and he was saying the difference between gospel music and pop music. Like Kanye West will like do 30 versions of one song, and like 15 of the versions he just changed the snare. Yeah. 15 times. Yeah. Change the snare or change the velocity on it or change like you know what I'm saying? Like gospel music, we don't go to that extent. Nah. And then like it helped verify because you know we both got a common friend, Tyrese. Yeah. You know Tyrese like he be doing some major stuff, and sometimes every now and then he'll send us a little stuff. Yeah. And he'll have version 6. Yeah. Just of what he did. He just adding strings, like in orchestral stuff, and 6 versions of just that, not minus whatever the actual producer did. So it's like, man, when you say you can write a song fast, like I don't get it. It don't register with me.
Yeah. Now lyric wise, I don't feel like I'm a writer like that. Like I feel like it got to come from the Lord, man. If then I can put it together, but other than that, it's gonna take some time. Yeah. Like just for me, because I'm just like I'm bad about this. Should the tempo be 80 or 81? I'm horrible with that, man. So there's like stuff like you said, it be self-inflicted, but man, it'll hold you up. Then you have to just kind of get to a point to where like it is, you know what I'm saying? Just that satisfaction. Look, man, I do want to do this game because I'm definitely interested in your answers for this. I do a game. I'm putting a plug out here. I need to find a name for this game. So if y'all got suggestions, put them in the comments. We'll do a door prize or something. Free Chick-fil-A on Sunday for anybody, the winner.
On Sunday.
Got you. Hit me up. No, but basically, it's a game. Just man, it's what are your first thoughts? So I'm gonna give out a phrase or a word, man. You just tell me.
I don't know if you want to do this.
I do. Ooh, I do.
My first thoughts.
First thing come to mind. It's musically related though.
Ooh, that's still keep me in trouble.
So, whenever, what come to your mind, man? First question. You ready?
Let's go.
All right. Well, you don't sing though.
Yeah, I'm not a good singer.
I'm gonna have to change this question. First, favorite song to play.
Favorite song to play. River People.
Okay.
By River People by Weather Report / Jacob Stories.
Gotcha. What's your favorite song? Period.
It's crazy. It's gonna probably be a hip hop song. I don't have one. Now that I think about it, I have so many songs that I love. But
give me one then. First one popped in mind.
First one that popped in mind. First one that popped in mind right now is Victor Wooten. It's My Life.
Okay.
It's off the Live in America CD. So it's a live version of his song. It's My Life.
I'm gonna tell you definitely an artist, musician, because you're the first person on this show that named albums, credits. Anyway, that's how we think, man. Yeah. Like, anyway, favorite artist.
Ooh. Can I name like multiple people?
Yeah.
All right. So Snarky Puppy.
Okay.
Weather Report.
Gotcha.
Kanye West.
Got it. I like Kanye, man.
I love Kanye. I'm a Kanye stan.
Man, You know, we were talking about that genius thing. Okay, the people don't understand that. I think he's misunderstood. But anyway, keep going. Who you want to collaborate with that could be either dead or alive?
Prince. So a person that's passed away. Prince. Person that's alive. Corey Henry. Corey, you bring your funk, I bring my funk, and we funk.
Okay.
Come on, man.
I like to. Hey, he wasn't with. Was he with Snarky Pup when we played with him?
Yeah, when I played with him, no. He hadn't joined the band yet.
Okay.
He hadn't joined.
If you were not doing music, what would you be doing?
Ooh. Man, something I always thought about doing was psychology. People interest me like, man, like the thought process, like
definitely.
You do that?
Definitely. I study people. Oh man, best advice you've ever been given.
Grow up.
Come on, Ray.
Seriously, bro. I used to be a very childish person.
Really?
Till I was probably 24, 25.
Okay.
Yeah. Very childish.
It's quick to the point. Your most memorable moment.
Playing on 106 in Park.
For real?
Yeah.
Man, woo.
With Smash.
For real?
In 2012. My niece was born on February 9th. I think we played February 2nd.
Wow, man.
Played the original song
on 106
on 106 in Park.
Man, that's dope.
Yeah.
Craziest story. It's got to be something we can share. Got to be something we share. This question makes me nervous.
Craziest story. I'll make it a musical story.
Yeah.
So I got a call from Josh Reynolds.
Shout out to Josh.
That's my brother. Yeah. He called me. Like, yeah, man, Calvin can't play bass with Kagler tonight. Can you play? Mind you, this call is at 1 o'clock. Mm-hmm. 1 o'clock in the afternoon. He's saying tonight.
Yeah.
So the gig is at 6. That's my brother, so I just say yeah. And I like Kagler. Like, yeah, I can do it. All right, here go the music. I get the music. It's mind you, I said I grew up in church.
Yeah.
Been in church my whole life. But the churches I grew up in, we didn't play this style of music I'm finna name. Yeah. It was a non-denominational church, so we definitely didn't play this style of music. It was like James Hall stuff.
Yeah.
So he sent it, I'm like, oh, bro, I don't know. But okay, I'll do it. Between 1 and 6 o'clock. And this is a lesson I learned. Don't accept the gig.
Yeah.
If you know you can't do it, don't accept the gig. Whole ride to New Orleans, I'm telling them. Now, from Hattiesburg to New Orleans, like an hour 45, maybe 2 hours. Whole ride, I'm telling them, bro, I don't know this music.
Yeah.
I'm not confident. We get there. It's Josh Kagler is doing, he's had a bunch of versions of his choir.
Right.
So he got his old band. His old band is all killers of beasts in New Orleans. Brandon Butler, Alvin Ford. It's all beasts, man. I forgot the rest of the guy's name, but them the two that I can remember. So he have them, and then guess who come out the back? James Fortune. Oh, man, I'm looking like, dude, I know I'm not finna embarrass myself in front of all these people. We get to playing the song, immediately I die.
Yeah.
Boom, fumbling everywhere. I picked my head up, I said, oh, well, I'm gonna die with a smile.
Yeah. It's funny.
Figured out, bro. That's the bro. Musically, that's the craziest moment I've ever been a part of.
Man, that's a long show though. 20 minutes, man, it seemed like about 3 hours.
Boy, I just was like, man, I didn't embarrass myself in front of all these big people, bro. I know these people think I can't play.
Yeah.
Like,
that ride, that mental ride you go on. We all been there. Biggest accomplishment,
man. It just happened this past weekend. I got to play my original music, which is Dance Tonight, a shameless plug. Got to play my original music, Dance Tonight, in the Superdome in front of a lot of people. Well, it was for Oshner. I think Moonlights and Miracles for Oshner, but got to do that, and they licensed the song to be on the commercial. So
wow, man, it's dope.
Biggest accomplishment so far.
So far, that's keyword. So far, right, man. That's the game. That's it. I try to keep it.
I thought it was gonna get bad. I thought you were gonna ask me and or this or that. I was like, oh man.
Hey, you know, comparisons kill. Nah. Nah, man. Look, what's the future look like for you, man?
Man, what I'm hoping in the next 5 years is that I'm touring Ray Bradford and Simple Funk, touring that, putting out more records on that, and I'm becoming more of an educator because that's something I want to get into.
You need bass. To, man. You definitely need to.
Teaching bass, and those are the two most. Those are the two most forefront things I can see for myself in. Probably like producing. I want to actually produce somebody. Yeah. But like in closer to the field that I'm in.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's I think that's needed, man. I mean, I don't even know the word I want to say, but I think you definitely need to do that. Sometimes I know one thing I think about, I be thinking about, well, man, I ain't got the resume to demand people will listen to me. And that is a thing, but, you know, you still got to share. Yeah, you got to share. All right, man, what's the, two more questions for you. What's the advice? What advice, I asked you, what's the best advice you ever been given? What advice would you give to somebody who look up to you, man, want to do what you do, on that path, you see it in them? What would you share with them?
Ooh, this may be long. The earlier you can correct bad habits, the better. So that's how I start. The earlier you can correct bad habits, the better. Take yourself serious in the sense of what you're doing, you're good at. Yeah. Believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. Because you'll run across people who will say things, and they won't directly say it at you. Yeah. But they'll say things that you'll go home and think about. Right. That'll make you question yourself and if what you're doing is the right thing. But if you believe in you and you know what you're doing genuinely, it'll work out. Be genuine in what you're doing. Be authentic as much as you can. I know they say, hey, man, music, you got to create your own sound. Brother, it's not too many more sounds that can be created. It's just not too many more sounds that can be created.
It sound like your boy. Hey, ain't nobody slapping no more.
Hey, come on, man. It ain't too many more sounds that can be created. So, like, even when I say be authentic, like, I'm a big Corey Henry fan. I'm a big Snarky Puppy fan. I'm a big Parliament fan. I'm a big Sly and the Family Stone. My authenticness, if that's a word, is to pull all these people into one and make my sound. Right. So, like, be authentic within yourself. Yeah. Study. You don't know everything. Study.
You'll never know everything.
I was a person who thought I knew everything at one time. Study. Yeah. You know, that's all I can think of right off the top of the head. But
Sly, be you, man. I mean, and we need that in a world where there's so much copying. You know what I'm saying? And I think we confuse being influenced and copying. There's no way you can live on Earth and not be influenced. That's okay. But like you said, take that and make that work for you.
Like with that, this is advice. Man, I dealt with this in college. Like, hey, man, it was a battle between going and learning the old jazz and just making your own way. Right. You can't make your own way if you haven't studied the older people. Like, if I'm a keyboard player, if I ain't studied Mike Burrell, if I ain't studied Bun, if I ain't studied, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
I can't make me. I had to know a little bit, just a little bit of them, and then you see what I'm saying?
That's paying homage to me. Like that's just like anything else. Like you're not gonna be the next amazing basketball player not knowing the history of the game. You know what I'm saying? That's just life. We let people, and we let people influence us to feel like we're at odds against that. Like, I must close on this. Michael Jordan, LeBron. LeBron has no obligation to be Michael Jordan. He has a responsibility to learn what opportunity he has that have been afforded to him by the people before Jordan. Like my dad talk about him all the time. David, what's his name? David. Yeah, I can't think of a name. He came for Jordan, like George Gervin, all these people that came for Dr. J, all these people came for Jordan. Set Jordan up to be the best Jordan he could be. Jordan did what he did to set the next. Like, that's how it works. We just try to make them be each other. Comparisons kill. So yeah, man, you learning Ray Brown, you learning my guy that I love on bass, you learning Christian McBride. That don't mean you gotta be them, but you know you can listen to a song till that's his style playing. You know what I'm saying?
It's always little things from people that you like
that show up.
Like you just mentioned 2 bass players. Ray Brown, his groove when walking. Yeah. You can directly tell the influence it had on Christian McBride. Right. Like he picked that right on up. Right. So it's like he may not did everything else that Ray Brown did, but he was like the way he makes it groove. Yeah. I have to do the same thing. Right. You know,
and that's how it's supposed to be. We connected. You know, we can't get better. Last question for you, man. How we find you on social media? Where you at?
Okay, you can find me on Facebook, Raymond D. Bradford. That's my personal page, but I'm probably finna stop using that. I'm in the process of working out. I have an artist page name. It's under Ray Bradford, just Ray Bradford. Artist page.
It's Ray.
Bradford. So, yeah, I'm probably finna use that more and stop posting my personal thoughts because I think that get me in trouble. You can find me on Instagram at Ray D. Bradford. You can find me on Twitter. Just type in Raymond Bradford. I'll come up. You'll see me. I got like a funny pose on. All DSPs, type in Ray Bradford. YouTube, type in Ray Bradford. Any other social media? I'm on TikTok, but I rarely use it. Raymond D. Bradford.
Man, TikTok too young for me, man. It be whooping me.
It move too fast.
Whooping me. So I'm on there, but But yeah, listen, we're gonna tag all that in the comments, definitely in the description, because we need more of this, man. I'm all about empowering our community, bringing awareness to it, and just help us navigate through some of these spaces that used to be conversations. Like for me. If you knew an OG who could help you, you know it did that. But now we got these digital platforms, so hopefully that's what that does for y'all. I really appreciate y'all watching. My man right here finna blaze us with a solo, or he finna surprise us. But I want to thank y'all for tuning in. Again, make sure you like, subscribe, share. Hope y'all put some comments in there. Listen. It's been another episode of Playing It By Ear. I want to thank my guest, my boy, coming down for me.
On, brother. Yeah. Appreciate you for having me on.
Scatterbrain,
the Ray Bradford podcast.
Check it out. Okay. I see y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. Peace.